Welcome to phase 9. This is the 9th step, mastering the language. Mastering the language is really about knowing what to say and saying it a lot of times to the right people. What does that mean? Most of real estate agents who join our industry, they are coming in from other industries. The majority of them didn't own a business before. And now they're jumping from an employee, from a job where you have someone else employing you, paying your salary, into real estate, being a self-employed. And the majority of people, what they do is they don't really take the time, skills, and learn the language. What they do is they use the language you already have. So they think, if I speak English, and I have some experience from sales that I did when I was a teenager, or I have some experience from sales, or they have an idea of how this business should be done, then they just join the industry, get their license, start working, take a lead, going out with the lead, showing them some houses. I mean, obviously, you don't need to be a genius to show a couple of homes and do a deal. So what's happening is that's really what's going on out there. A lot of agents just take a buyer out, show a couple of properties, and hope to make a deal. Many of them mess up the situation. Many of them get in trouble within deals, and then they need a broker to bail them out by saying things that they shouldn't say, if it's unethical or whatever. So when we understand the concept of sales, we understand that sales is all about asking questions. If you ask the right questions, you are in control of the situation. It's all about asking questions. Now, the majority of people, when you talk, you're not selling anything. When you talk, you're actually being sold. So if you talk and you're being sold, then who is doing all the selling? The seller. So when an agent calls for sale by owner or an expired listing, as an example, and the seller is the one asking all the questions, then the agent is not in control. So there are many different reasons why you should use scripts and dialogues and internalize the language that you're going to be using in this profession. It is a profession. It's a business. You're building your own brand, and everything you're saying is you and your brand. Therefore, I suggest to all agents, especially at the beginning stage of your career, we're talking about the first 18 months. And if you're an agent that's not producing well right now, meaning you're not doing at least 10 transactions a year, you should pay attention to it as if you are a brand new agent, because if you did 10 deals a year and you've been doing 10 deals a year for the last 10 years, that means that you don't have the skills necessary to make money in our industry, because you're only doing 10 deals. And 10 deals, if you have skills, if you really develop the mastering the language, and you're doing it part-time, I'm talking 10 hours a week max, you should be doing at least 10 transactions. So if you work full-time and you're only doing 5 deals, 10 deals, 12 deals a year, that means that you never master the language and you don't have the skills. That's why you're not doing enough deals. And look, in some areas, if you do 10 deals a year, that means you just made $75,000, in your pocket, and many jobs out there are not even going to pay you half of that. So a lot of people satisfy themselves by doing 10 deals a year and making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year. But these are the agents that have no skills. They never took the time to master the language, and mastering the language is the most important thing in our business. And that's what separates superstars from all the rest. Superstars know the language. They memorize, internalize it. They can take any conversation for sale by owner, expired listing, any conversation. They can take that conversation where they want to take it, which really ends up, in most cases, with booking a listing presentation. And then they pre-qualify the listing presentation, and the majority of these listing presentations end up in getting a listing. So if you know the language A to Z, you can then become a lot more successful. You can really bring your business to the next level. And then if you use leverage, which is what we're helping you to do here at Circle100, we're all about using leverage by using the transaction coordinator and the listing management and all the rest of the stuff that we have. When you utilize all that stuff and you have the skills, you can then go and do 50 plus deals a year without ever hiring anybody, and you'll have all the time freedom you need, because you have departments working for you. You have a transaction coordination department working for you, and you have a listing management department working for you. We have a photography package. You have everything you need, sending other people out there to do the work for you, and you leverage. So freedom starts with lack of freedom. What does that mean? If I want to be financially free, I got to develop the skills necessary, and I have to master the language. If I can master the language, and I can tell you the agents that I know who master the language are doing at least, I mean, all of those that I know that role play every day, and they do everything we want to talk about in this session, agents who do that regularly for a long period of time make at least $250,000 a year. I know people who make millions of dollars a year following exactly the same system, role playing every single day. So why do they do that? Why would someone who makes $2 million a year role play 5 days a week? They already know the scripts and dialogues. They've been doing it for 10, 15, 20 years. Why should they continue to role play? Because they understand that they have to sharpen the knife. Sharpen the knife, sharpen the knife, sharpen the knife, like every single day working on sharpening the knife. Why? Because as long as the knife is sharpened, you will be a lot more successful, and you can leverage that to work for you. So let's begin. All right. What's the importance of role-playing? Role-playing is by far the most important activity for you if you really want to master the language. If you want to memorize, internalize scripts and dialogues and know how to handle objections, I'm talking all objections you get over the phone, as well as objections that you're getting when you're face-to-face with people, when you pre-qualify, when you do your follow-up calls, and when you are face-to-face doing listening presentations or a buyer's consultation. So to perfect a role in a movie, actors role-play their scripts until the language becomes part of who they are. They need to become something or someone. Therefore, they need to role-play the scripts over and 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 over before the shoot, or they need to, really go in front of the camera and do it, for real. When you know what to say, you don't need to focus on what you should say next. So when you're not focusing on it, it's actually allowing you to fully focus on what the client is telling you. And if you're fully focused on what the client is telling you, then you know how to control the situation because you understand the situation. So if we are asking questions, the old image of a salesperson was someone who talks, someone who's doing all the talking. They talk a lot, nonstop. That was the definition of a salesperson. But that's really not the definition of a salesperson. A salesperson is the person who asks most of the questions. So our job is to ask questions and then shut up and listen to the answers and then ask the next question. That's what selling is all about. When you do that, you become very successful and you control the conversation. All right, so how to master the language? Top producers use scripts and dialogues as well as canned presentation. What's a canned presentation? Is a presentation that's done the same way each and every time. You have an opening, you have a center, and then you have a close. When you include role-playing into your daily schedule and you basically converse, you dialogue on a regular basis, those scripts and dialogues over and over and over and over with different people. Top producers make sure that they do that with at least 5 minimum role-play partners, 1 for each day of the week. And when they do that, they get different angles. One person is a driver, another person is expressive, the other one is amiable, the other one is analytical, one is driver analytical, the other one is expressive amiable. So different personality styles behave and react and respond to the language in a different way. When you do that with many different kinds of personality styles, you will then begin to really master how to do that with real prospects. So role-playing is a big portion of being a top producer. And it's something that you should do first thing in the morning, get yourself excited while you do it. And there are different ways of doing role-playing, but just a rule of thumb, you should all be standing up when you do that. All right, best case scenario, what you should do is, this is like the ideal way to prospect, is before you role play, not prospect, to role play, before you start doing that, you want to chant it out loud for like 5-10 minutes before you call your partner. Chanting it out loud as fast as possible, normal speed, slow, fast again, normal speed, slow. And then you pick up the phone, you call your role play partner because you're already warmed up. And at that point in time, you are spending time with someone else, and both of you are doing role-playing. So we are actually, right now, I'm working on it. We're going to launch it, talking in the next couple of days, the role-play club for Circle100. So what we're going to be doing is we will meet online every morning. Everybody signs up to the Zoom. And then we're going to separate you into different Zoom sessions, Zoom rooms, basically. And you will start your role-playing session. So whoever is showing up in the morning will be the ones that I will, help you at the beginning stage to, role play with other people each and every day. So everybody shows up at 7:55 on the role play session on that Zoom session, and then begin to role play until 8:30. And we'll do that 5 days a week. It's going to be organized, and we'll help all of you to really get yourself there, because it seems as if a lot of people have, for some reason, you have issues with booking role play sessions, or the role play session is not serious, or the role play session doesn't show up, or one day they do show up, the other day they don't, and whatever the story is. When we do this in a group, I think you will get a better result. So we're going to start doing that. All right, let's continue. The importance of role playing. When you master the script, you will be able to actually book appointments quickly. And when you master, the scripts, you will be able to handle all the objections with ease. When you master the script, you're also going to be automatically more comfortable, number one, to prospect, and number two, to follow up and close on those appointments. So when you are comfortable prospecting, it actually leads you, it causes you to go out there and prospect and book more appointments. So the more you get comfortable about the script, the better you get at this segment, the more you will prospect. So if you have a problem prospecting because you don't like it, most people don't like to prospect because they don't even understand how to do that. They don't know what to say, and they don't feel comfortable. You normally would not feel comfortable with something you don't know. When you know something very well, you feel very comfortable. And that's your goal. You want to reach your goal is to reach a space where you are very comfortable with your script. When you know what to say, your confidence goes up. When your confidence goes up, you go out and you take action. I see a lot of agents stuck. When I say a lot of agents, guys, 90%. If I'm gonna do a 3-day training on how to prospect, how to role play, how to handle objections, all that stuff, if I'm gonna do an event and 100 people show up, about 90 to 95 of them within 30 days will not do what needs to be done. And I always say the rule is really 98-2. 2 people, 2 out of 100 have what it takes to be consistent. So you just need to remember something. This is a numbers game. The more you do it, the better you get at it. It's not about who you are, what's your past experience. It's not about what you did before real estate. It's not about any of that stuff. It's not about how many deals you have, how much money you have in the bank. It's none of that stuff. It's all about being coachable, open-minded, and agree to work on yourself and improve your skills. And understand that by doing that, you will have more confidence in yourself, in your business, in what you're saying. And you'll have more control of each conversation that you're in. And the more control you gain, the better you get. And the better you get, the more you want to do it. So it's a loop. Now, if you're not doing it enough, or you're not good at what you're doing, and you're not really role-playing with 5 different partners every week, and you're not doing it every day, and you're not doing the homework, then you're not going to get comfortable. And then although you might do it for a month or 2, you will quit doing it eventually and not get the results. People quit because they don't get results. People don't get results because they don't do something long enough. People don't do something long enough because their why is not really strong. They want to do real estate. But, I don't like to prospect. I don't like to learn script. I don't like to role play. I don't like. Let me just do what I want. Let me just do what I do. And then they do 4, 5, 6, 7 transactions a year and never more. I know agents that have been in the business for 5, 10, 15, 20 years that are doing the same amount of deals they did their first year in the business. First year they did, say, 8 deals. That's the average. They do 1 year, they do 5 deals, another year they do 11. But they run between 5 and 12 deals a year for 20 years. What's the end goal here? I don't understand. For how long are you going to do that? So as long as you can work in real estate and sell, and you're healthy, and you can actually go out there and do the work, great. You'll make, between 5 and 12 deals will make you say between $30,000 and $80,000 a year. That's if your split is 100%. If not, then you need to cut off what comes off the top. So the majority of agents that decide to do what it takes have a strong why. And they understand that if I'm going to continue to do what I do right now, in 10 years, I'll be exactly where I am right now. Can I afford to be in 10 years financially where I am right now? If the answer is no, you got to change something. So the first thing I say is, in order to be successful in real estate, you got to be coachable. Coachable is open-minded and willing to do the work. I can guide you through this. I did it myself. I also guide a lot of other agents to do it, and I offer you guys to do the same thing. Now, it's your job. It's your income. It's your bank account. So you got to do the work. All right. Why people resist to learn scripts? First of all, they resist because their why is not strong enough. That's my opinion. But let's go over the list. Their ego gets in the way. They don't feel comfortable with the script itself. Many people argue about the script. Now, I'm following myself when I prospect. I follow the Mike Ferry scripts. You can use your own script. We also have the Circle100 scripts, which are very similar in style to the Mike Ferry script, which you can use. You can also use Tom Ferry's script. You have Buffini. I mean, there are hundreds of scripts out there. Some are better than others. It really depends also on your personality style, but it's not about the script itself. It's a script, not the script. Choose a script and then stick to it. Now, people many times they start changing the script. They think, well, I like 1 through 4, but 5, 6, 7, I don't like. 8, it's okay. 9, I don't like it. 10, I don't think I can ask this question. 11, and they keep sorting out questions out of the script. When you follow a script, it was designed in a certain way for a particular end result. What is that? When you ask certain question number 1 will lead you to question number 2, which will lead you 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way through. At the end, you're booking a listing appointment. So when the ego gets in the way, I don't like to role play. It's not me. I don't feel this comfortable. This language is my language. I don't think that people will react well for this. It sounds weird. I don't want to be awkward. All of these different things are the ego standing in your way. And I had my own ego when I started in the business. I was fighting my ego. For the first 6 months, I didn't want to follow the scripts that my coach was giving me. And until I actually took the time to do that, I wasn't making the money that I wish to make. So, next point. Agents that don't like to follow scripts are afraid that the script itself is going to make them look like a salesperson. Now, myself, personally, I really don't understand people who join our industry and they don't like sales or afraid of doing sales. This is it's a real estate sales industry. We list and sell houses. We list and sell properties. We sell ourselves every single moment. We used to sell ourselves when we were teenagers. If we had an idea that we wanted something, we would convince our parents, to do it, or our grandparents. So we had the power of sales since we were children. Kids are selling their parents like every second. If you look at a 4-year-old who wants to eat a piece of cake, trust me, they're going to sell it to their parents that they want, and they're going to get it. As a child, you get what you want from your parents, in most cases. So it's naturally, this behavior of selling should come naturally, but for some reason, the world we live in today, people shy off of it for whatever reason. Number 3, scripts can make them out of their comfort. So it will take them out of their comfort zone because, and I tell you about my own experience, the first 6 months in the business, when I was fighting using scripts, I did that because it slowed me down. I came into the Mike Ferry system from a different system that I was using, that I came out with myself. And it was getting me some results, positive results. And I was afraid to stop the momentum that I had with those results. Therefore, I didn't want to use this new script because using the new script will slow me down. And the fear of being slowed down is what kept me at the level of production that I did before I joined that coaching environment, which made no sense because I was paying monthly $1,000 a month to get a coach, and then I wasn't using the system, which is, the definition of stupidity. But I did that. And then after 6 months, I had enough. And I said, okay, if I'm going to continue to pay, for the coaching, I better off start using the system. And I started using the system. And what happened to my business is the first 3 months, it went down. It did slow me down, but I wasn't scared anymore. I said, you know what? If it slows down, it slows down. So I did slow down for 3 months, and then I went up like a check mark. I went down for 3 months, and then I went so far up that I never went backwards. And I really went from doing about 15 deals, 17 deals, to doing over 50 deals, and I never did less for the remaining of my career because of that. So it's important that you use scripts and you allow the scripts to do what it does in your business. The next point is they're too lazy to learn and memorize them. That's probably 80% of the people right there. They're too lazy. They just want to make, I just want to make money, don't I? I don't want to, listen, I already know what to say. I don't like using scripts. Guys, this is what I hear from people that I coach. So the majority of people are too lazy. In any industry, the majority of people are lazy, and that's why they never memorize, internalize, and that's why they never become top producers. Plain and simple. Next point. Independent contractors don't like someone else to tell them what to do. So when people go from a job, like an employee, they sell, a lot of people, they want to get involved in real estate because they don't like someone else telling them what to do. I don't like my boss telling me what to do, therefore I want to become a real estate agent, then I'll be my own boss, and then I tell myself what to do. The problem with that is that most people don't tell themselves to do anything, and therefore they're not doing anything. So independent contractors don't like someone else to tell them what to do, therefore don't tell me to use scripts and dialogues. Let me do my own thing. Let me do my own thing. Well, your own thing is going to equal 5 deals, 12 deals a year, and maybe if you do 15 deals a year, or 20, or 25, let me tell you something else. If you don't do it within a system, you're going to have no life. You will do 20 deals a year. You'll make 120, 150, 200,000, but you're going to have zero life. You're going to work 7 days a week. You will have no freedom whatsoever because you have no idea how to leverage. So look, you can do it your own way, which is really the long way. If you want a shortcut, you got to use the system. Within 12 to 18 months, doing what it is that I teach you guys here in all these different sessions, within 12 to 18 months, if you start today, when you're counting your 12 months, don't count 12 months if for 3 months you haven't been doing the system. If you've been doing the system every single day, then in the next 12 to 18 months, 90% of you will master the language, will get probably half of the feasible conversations into a listing appointment, will get 80, 90% of your expired listing scripts, conversations with people, end up in a listing presentation. You will probably turn, I would say a ratio will go from 1 out of 3 to 4 into 3 out of 4 listing presentations. You end up getting the listing. You can get 7 listings out of 10 within 12 to 18 months if you follow this system. If you don't, I don't even know if you're going to have listing appointments. And if you're going to have listing appointments and have some competition, meaning there's another agents coming in, trust me, in most cases, you're not going to get the listing. So the next reason people don't take the time is scripts can speed up success, and some people are really afraid of success and therefore they avoid it. It sounds weird. Like, who is afraid of success? And if you really look deep down in yourself, and we do a coaching session on that, I did many life coaching sessions and business coaching sessions that we talk about this specific point right there. There's a lot of people that want success, but they're afraid of it. They're afraid of what's going to happen when they start making a lot of money, what the family will say, what their friends will say. They're afraid of, it's like people are afraid to be on stage. So they prefer to not be successful, to never end up on a stage. Therefore, they don't do what it takes to become successful. So these are the main reasons people resist using a script. Let's look at the advantages of using scripts. Why should you use a script? Let's look at some points. Number one is they give you confidence to do what needs to be done, to talk to people, to get on the phone and call. make the phone calls. Number two, by using them, you're not really wasting anybody's time, because when you start mumbling on the phone and you're talking and talking and talking, you do all the talk. And then the seller on the other end is just asking all the questions. You're wasting their time and your time. Number three, scripts allows you to stay focused on what it is that you're trying to do. If you get off the script, you come back on the script. And many times when you get off the script and you're not coming back on the script, you're going to, take that conversation supposed to go straight forward. You're going to end up turning 60 degrees and you're going to end up in a completely different destination. So if you want to stay on script, you will also stay focused. The fourth one is allow us to discuss what's important with the seller, right? There are certain things we should talk to the seller about and other things that are really not important. And then allow us to be consistent in what we say. So if you follow any of the scripts that we shared with you, you will see that there is some sort of a structure, like you asking question A, you jump to B, C, D, and then there is a close, and then a couple more questions, another close. The script also allows you to be in control of the conversation. Whoever is asking the questions is the one in control. If the seller is the one asking all the questions, the seller is in control of the conversation. And therefore, they hang up on you and they give you objections that you can't handle. Next, allows customers to make a valid decision because you're guiding them through with the questions that you're asking them through a specific destination. And it shows the customer the benefits of why they should work with you because they see that you are a professional. And then the customer wins and you win. Okay, so if you want to work on a process that is automatic, easy to use, simple, without complicating things, then using script is what you should be focused on. How to quickly memorize the scripts. This is an exercise that you guys, if you have a screenshot, you should take a screenshot right now of this one because you need it. So for the first 30 days, when people tell me, I want to memorize quickly, this is what I offer them to do in order to memorize the scripts. Now, many of you already know it, but you never actually took the action to do it. So hopefully now it will be a small wake-up call and help you to get in action. All right, so let's look at that. So for the first 30 days, now it says for the first 30 days, because after that you continue with certain things, not with all of it. This is the first 30 days of each script. Now we have different scripts, which I'm going to show you. So what do you need to do? You know what? Let me jump into the different scripts for a second. We have a sphere of influence and past client script, which is what to say when you call your friends, family, and past clients. We have a for sale by owner script, expired script, just listed scripts, just sold script, buyer scripts, investor scripts, the listing presentation script, the buyer consultation script, and then handling objections. These are the main scripts that we're working with. How to memorize these scripts. So you take each one of those and you study that for 30 days. And what I'm showing you right now should take you roughly about 30 minutes every day. Not including the role play. So the role play is an additional 30 minutes. All right, step one, make time, put it on your schedule to handwrite each script every day. So you handwrite the script. Remember in school, the teachers made us handwrite words in order to memorize them? It's the same. So you're going to write down the script every day. Okay, it doesn't take more than 5 minutes. The listing presentation might take you 10, 15 minutes. But all the rest, the phone conversations and handling objections, those are short. So you need to make the time, put it on your schedule. Number two, chant out loud each script 10 times every day. Okay, let's go to three and I'll get back. So number three, record your voice while you're chanting out loud. If possible, have Baroque music in the background. It helps you to memorize. Classical music. Not really necessary, but if you want to do that, it's helping you then to put it in your subconscious mind when you listen to it, which is really step four. Step four is listen to the recording before you go to sleep while laying in bed, and then this will help you record the script into your subconscious mind. And then you want to repeat this exercise every 6 months. Number six is role play with a partner for 30 minutes a day. Make sure that you have different partners to exercise. I spoke about that. So let's go again. Make sure, number one, handwrite the script. Number two, chant out loud, minimum of 10 times a day. Now, here's an addition there. So you have 2, A, chant out loud as fast as possible. 10 times. B, chant out loud normal speed 10 times. And that's the addition to this exercise. So you got point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on number 2, you have two points. One is chanting out loud as fast as possible, and then in a normal speed. And then you're going to record yourself, obviously, when you do it in a normal speed. Listening to the recording is a big portion of it. If you miss that, that's like 50% of memorization right there. If you're not taking the time to record yourself and then listening to the recording before you go to sleep, you are missing 50% of the power of memorization. It's going to be more difficult for you. It will take longer. If you want to speed up the process, don't skip number 4, excuse me. All right, let's go to the next. Role-playing. What do you need to do? You got to find 5 to 6 role-play partners, one for each working days. If you work 6 days a week, which I recommend, especially at the beginning of your career, then you want to have 6 role-play partners because you got to role-play every time before you prospect. Role-playing takes place before you prospect. Prospecting takes place first thing in the morning. Therefore, role-playing is first thing in the morning. Okay, number 2, schedule minimum 1 hour daily role-play time. This is for the first 30 days, guys, not ongoing. So it's just for the first few months. You want to role-play for 1 hour. And you can break it down, 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes at the end of the day. Okay, number 3. Before role-playing, make sure to create energy by listening to music, dancing, jumping, etc. to create energy. You have to move around. So if you want to create a lot of energy, move around, dance, clap your hands, jump up and down, and then jump right into role-playing. Stand up while role-playing. You need to follow the script verbatim, and you need to use your body as well as your voice. Remember, motion creates emotion. And you got to be moving around. You can't just sit down on a couch, laid back with your pajamas on and role-playing. Take it seriously. And you're doing it before prospecting. I always recommend when you work from home, and especially when you work from home, you need to be dressed to work. The fact that you're staying home doesn't mean that you're not getting dressed to work. So you want to get dressed just as if you're going on a listing presentation. And then you start role-playing, jump right into prospecting because you might be booking an appointment right down in there. And the energy changes. When you are dressed up for work, your energy is better than if you stay in your jammies. All right? So we covered all these points. Let's talk about how do we internalize the script. So since we're all saying things differently, internalizing the script make us way better. When we start doing an advanced, I'll actually go over the DISC test, the driver, expressive, amiable, analytical personality styles, how to behave, how to talk to each and every one of them, how to present to each and every one of these personality styles, what is your personality style, how to get yourself to be flexible in terms of your rate of speech, how you mimic their tonality and different things. Now, at the beginning stage, you need to create a positive expectation towards knowing the scripts. For example, when I internalize the scripts, I can create, my kids' college fund. I can get out of debt. So you need to buy into the process of learning scripts and dialogues and memorizing and doing this entire homework. Write down the 5 benefits you will receive when you learn your scripts. That's homework. So you want to sit down and ask yourself, what are the benefits that I can get when I actually memorize and internalize scripts? And then you just write down what comes up. All right, so that's the first question. Write down 5 benefits that you're going to receive when you learn your scripts. When you're done with that, you're going to write down the negatives if you fail to learn the scripts. So what's going to happen if I know and internalize the scripts, and what happens if I don't do that? And then once you know the scripts, people like other people who are like themselves. Therefore, when memorizing and internalizing the scripts, you can actually focus on what the prospect is telling you, and you can act accordingly. When the script is memorized and internalized, focus on mimicking tonality, pronunciation, body language, and facial expressions. That's if you're doing face-to-face. Most of people don't have the capacity to do that because they didn't memorize, internalize the script. Therefore, when they're in a conversation with someone, they can maybe, start the conversation by asking a question, and then the answer will take them away from the script, and they stay away from the script all throughout the end of that conversation, and they don't really end up with the same results as agents who actually follow up the scripts verbatim. Go from one point to the next until you get to the listing appointment, scheduling the listing appointment. Another thing you got to do is you need to focus on personality styles. Like I said, driver, analytical, expressive, amiable. And you got to be versatile. If you become versatile, you can really understand, okay, wait a second, this person is amiable, I'm a driver, I should slow down, I should put less drive into my speech, I need to become more quiet, ask the right questions, allow them to say what they feel about the process. And if I talk to a driver, I got to drive the thing, I got to take control, I got to make them feel that they're in control as well. There's a lot of different things that go into working with each and every one of those personality styles. How do you present to a driver? How do you present to analytical? And then how do you even, when you're doing your presentation, paying any attention to who is the seller? Is the seller analytical? Am I presenting right now to an expressive person? Should I move more? Should I, speak faster? Should I, be more direct, or maybe ask more, how do you feel versus how do you think? Is it logical? Do they make decisions based on emotions or based on logic? So it's really all of these different rules play into the game of you taking control of the situation, of the conversation, and then getting your end result, which is really get the listing or get the buyer exclusive agreement. These are the two things you're going after. So in order for you to be able to do that, which is really an advanced skill, you need to first memorize, internalize, do the basic stuff. So these are the scripts. We talked about that. And again, you can use MikeFerry.com to download some of these scripts. You can go to Buffinian Company. They have scripts there, and Tom Ferry has his own scripts. I like the ones we're giving you in the Mike Ferry script. So summarizing, you need to remember that in order for you to go to your next level, you really should focus at the beginning of your career, especially in the first 12 to 18 months. And this is a non-stop activity. Role-playing, chanting out loud, learning scripts and dialogues, memorizing them, getting better at them will make you better at the conversation. Have you ever participated in a conversation when you talk and you recognize that the other side is not really listening to you? Like you said something, they didn't pay attention, you know when they don't pay attention. So when you memorize the scripts and you ask these questions, and then you really pay attention, like you focus, your main focus every single time you speak with a prospect, if it's over the phone, door to door, face to face, or during a listing presentation, when you do that, you want to pay attention to what's being said. You really want to be there, because the more you listen, the better you listen, the more benefits the seller is going to get. Number one, from you. Number two, they're going to feel more comfortable with you. Number three, you come across more professional. Number four, you're going to get better results. So instead of coming in, saying I'm, Mr. Big Shot over here, I already know what to say. I don't really need scripts and dialogues. I wish you all the best. I know you're going to fail, and that's it. There's really no conversation about it. In my opinion, if you're not going to use scripts and dialogues and you're going to go in winging it, then you will be a winging it kind of an agent who does 5 to 10 deals a year. That's it. And if one year you did 20 because you got a bunch of buyer's leads, you got lucky, trust me, in the next market, which will be a buyer's market, not a seller's market, you will not make it. So I'm teaching you guys to become listing agents. I'm teaching you guys to be in control. I'm teaching you guys to be independent. I'm teaching you guys how to build a business and never go back. What's going back? Going back, working for someone else, depending on someone else to generate leads for you, to give you leads, depending on someone else to help you do stuff. At Circle 100, our main goal is to make everybody independent, financially free. Independent and financially free, okay? And make you more profitable. So all of those different sessions we do here every Sunday, you guys need to take serious advantage of them by, number one, listening, number two, doing the homework, number three, asking questions. So if you have any questions and to share your homework, send me an email to ran@circle100.com, and that's about it. So now let's just open up the session. If you guys have any questions in particular to what we just spoke about, how to role play, how to do these things, feel free to ask. Other than that, we will meet again on Tuesday morning. So let's open up the mic right now for more questions.
Rain, do you suggest we print out the scripts or just keep them in the computer?
I print out mine and I put them in front of me. So in my workstation, I have right in front of me all the scripts. So they're there all the time, just in case I get on the phone or sometimes I call somebody and then they call me back. I need to be on the script. So they're always in front of me. I have the feasible script in front of me. I have the expired script. I have the investors. I have all the scripts in front of me at all times. In addition to that, by the way, when you're prospecting, you want to stand up. So the same way you role play, you should prospect. If you're role playing sitting down, you will prospect sitting down, and you're not going to get the same results. Yes, more questions. No more questions on the subject. Then we will meet again next Sunday. This Tuesday, we're going to have a coaching session. If you want to join us on that, it's at 6:30 a.m. And that's it. I'll see you guys on Tuesday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.